Hi, and welcome to another IABC EMENA webinar. This is actually the last webinar of the season. My name is Jasna Suchadolz. I am one of the board members of IABC EMENA. And today we have with us Itzik Amiel, that I had a pleasure of listening to in Eurocom. Hi, Itzik.
Hi, Yasna. Thank you very much for the introduction. I didn't know it's the last one. That means I have to be a dessert. I have to be sweet today, right?
Yeah, it's the last in the season, and based on your presentation at Eurocom, I'm sure it's going to be as dynamic and interesting as that one was. So just a few housekeeping things. We're taking the questions at the end. I will turn off now my camera, and then I will read it out loud. So if anybody has any questions while Itzik is speaking, please send them to the questions box, and I will read them at the end. So Itzik is actually a leading authority on personal branding for professionals. So I'm sure that you'll have lots of interesting things to tell us and to teach us.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Yasna. And again, exactly as Yasna said, if you have questions, please type it in the chat box, so during the presentation, so we can answer that at the end. Don't wait till the end. You may forget them. So I will close as well my camera if you don't mind. So we just want to show you we are live. So we are there. We're waiting for your questions. I will close it, so it will give us better bandwidth for our presentation. So excuse me for that. And I hope all of you see the presentation. If you have any problem, please type down if you don't hear the sounds or you don't see the slides, but I hope you hear it. So today we're going to speak about from elevator pitch to attention switch. And the reason that we called it, by the way, like that, because those of you who knows me, I hate the word elevator pitch for a long time, especially as introvert. I hate those people who are pitching on you, trying to sell you. In the end, nothing happened out of it. And I do believe in the art of giving attention. And we're specifically going to talk about 3 unexpected methods for becoming an authority in your field. There are more than 3, there are actually 5, but the other 2 we don't need to implement, and we make it 3 because we want to make it in a time with we promise you to do this webinar. But more than that, I want to make it practical. So I want to show you how you can quickly and easily earn money with it, get your career with it, if you're a consultant, get more clients with it, just with becoming an authority, etc. As you know, in order to give attention fully to us, please close your mobile phone, your iPad, anything you have to disturb you. You decided to give us your time, so do it. Let's have it fun together. And again, if you have questions, we'll answer them at the end. You can ask them during the presentation just by entering them in the chat box. What my promise is to you today. So I promise you first, I will share with you the methodology that we use within our switch community. I have one of the biggest communities, as you know, professionally, internationally. And I'm teaching each of them how to become an authority and helping them implement. So I'll give you everything today, all the methodology, step by step, what you have to do. I'll share with you also specific examples, how you could really put these strategies into practice. So make it not theoretical, very practical presentation. And I will promise you that I'll share with you a proposed roadmap that you could use to become seen an authority within your practice, within your business, or even to teach others, other leaders within the organization that you're responsible as communication specialist to become an authority, which is important, of course, because otherwise they'll be seen more. I also will share with you actions you need to take to build your roadmap and become seen as authority. So what is the agenda for today? I'm going to very short tell you who I am, what is an authority, the 3 fundamental criteria to become an authority, how do you get paying clients, your success factor, and then the next step, what you should do next in order to do what I'm teaching you today. So in short, I said about me, so my name is Itzik Amiel. I'm originally from Israel. I live in the Netherlands, and I'm a lawyer and accountant in my profession with all the things in the world. I used to be the chairman of all the tax lawyers worldwide and in the board of a law association. And for many years, I wanted really much to share the message. I love people, and I couldn't say I love people. I mean, as a lawyer, they think you're crazy, right? But nowadays, I'm an international speaker. I'm on the biggest stage of the world together with people like Les Brown, Richard Branson, Dalai Lama, Nick Vujicic, etc., etc., and teaching a lot of people exactly what I learned during 22 years of my career. And all those years, I wanted really to tell people one thing, and I hope you understand it, and you understand it now, and understand at the end of my presentation, and it's getting worse and worse in a crowded marketplace. You need to be seen. You need to be seen by the right people in order to succeed faster and easier, in the sense that you work less and you make more for yourself, for your family, if it's more time, more money, whatever you need more for your life. And that's what I want you to see today, because that's what I worked 22 years myself. And now then it works, and it works in every industry I goes. I can tell you it's a framework. It's not a thing. I wrote a book about it. As you know, my best-selling book called The Attention Switch. And this is the limited edition. So if you want to know how to get it, get in touch with me, because this is not the Amazon edition. This is a special edition I'm doing because I'm supporting a charity in the Netherlands, and it's a very important cause for me. Those of you who want to learn more about what I'm doing can go to my website, itzikamiel.com. And as I told you, I have the biggest community for professionals. So if you want to learn about that, that's the switch. I'm considered, as Yasin told you, as global leading authority, as networking and relationship capital. And as I said, I live in the Netherlands with my wife and 2 daughters. And that's a picture quite a while ago, but I still love this picture, so I'm showing you. So that's in short about me and why am I here. But why should you listen to me at all? I mean, I know you're there, you hear a lot of noise, a lot of people telling you, but as I told you, I'm still practicing what I'm teaching. Those of you who follow and know me, I'm still doing what I'm going to teach you. You see me doing it on a daily basis because I'm doing it for years, and every time I'm going to different industries. So recently, last year, I was decided to help the business intelligence community. And guess what? Within 7 months, I'm in the board of directors. I'm helping them. I'm the keynote speaker. How could I do that? And those people, 20 years, it's exactly the same framework I'm going to teach you today. And it's based on sincerity, authenticity, not manipulation, really willingness to help, enjoy, and do things to others. So if you are not like this, I know you'll struggle. But if you're a person who's all about helping others, who's all about being the, how can I give other people attention, and how can I get attention? Listen carefully, because I'm going to give you the framework to become an authority, and that can really literally change your life. And you can copy it to any industry you want. So, of course, the first question we should ask is, what is an authority? Why should we think about the word authority? So, a first warning for you, I'm not teaching you to become a celebrity. So, do me a favor, authority is not a celebrity. Authority is something that we're going to teach you today what it is, but it's totally different than celebrity. You don't have to be a celebrity to become an authority. But what is it so important to become an authority, especially in our days, especially in so many industries, including yours, which is so complicated, is so crowded, so many people offering the same services? Why should clients choose for you? Why the company or clients of your company choose for your company, or people with whom your company? So I'll share with you 3 things. The first thing is very important. I hope you know that if you're offering a commodity product, you're going to get a commodity prices. But if you are a branded product, if you're an authority, then people pay you premium prices. That's first of all a very important thing. So you see, is the better you become an authority, the faster you reach your success, and you can implement, you can grow faster. The second thing, if you're an authority, you're probably more specialized, you're more niche. And when you're more niche, then you perceive to have more value, because you are the expert, the authority in specific area. So the more specialized you are, your services will be perceived to be more valuable. The third thing, and I hope you know that, if you're an authority, if you have a good brand, you develop your personal brand and become an authority, now people come to find you. You don't have to run after clients or after prospects. People will find you, and you select who you want to work, who you want to help, and those you want to go far away from your life. Trust me, if you have this ability, your life will be more enjoyable. You're not going to enter all these idiots to your life, you understand? So that's why authority, if there's one reason for me that was to be an authority, is that reason. That I don't need to chase clients can chase me, and I'll choose who I want to help, who I don't want to help. And that's a privilege to be only when you're authority. So a lot of you knows those people, and hope you're not one of them, that always in a wheel, like a hamster in a wheel, running after thing, more clients, more exposure, more project, more thing. They're busy all the time. And I wrote an article about busy is the new stupid, because busy is such a wrong word. Because if you're an authority, you're not busy. Maybe you are very much involved. Maybe you have less time because people want your time, but not busy in the sense of that you do so much and achieve nothing. Everything you're doing in authority has a meaning, and meaning even Some of you will doubt themselves now, but meaning even to change the world, it's possible. I'm telling you, I'm speaking every year for hundreds of thousands of people. If somebody tell me I'm not changing the world, I don't understand that, because it's definitely part of it, changing people's behavior. So what is authority? Did you ever ask yourself the question, what is an authority? So I'm teaching you today framework. I'm not teaching you theoretical. That's not academy. So authority built with two important things. First, you need to have the expertise. And second, you need to have influence. If you have expertise and influence, then and only then you can become an authority. So a lot of you listening today, I'm sure, have the expertise, have the knowledge. As young as you are, you have expertise already in your life. And the second question, do you have the influence? But maybe more important question is, who are you an authority for? Even if you're authority, even if you have expertise, and if you have influence, you need to know who are you an authority for. Now, if I give you the name of a person named Anton Corbijn, does it mean to any of you anything? Who is Anton Corbijn? So probably some of you, the Dutch people, maybe will hear, etc. But I assume most of you do not know the name Anton Corbijn. He is a good example of somebody who is absolutely in authority, not a celebrity, in authority, but he is known only by people he needs to be known for. Anton Corbijn, if you know or not know, is one of the most famous photographers in the world, or #1 in the world for all these rock and roll bands like U2, Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and all these bands. So if you ask U2, they'll pay anything in the world to get Anton Corbijn to take photos of them. You see, but none of us who are rock and roll band know Anton Corbijn. So that's why he is an authority to the people he needs to be known to. As he said himself, I'm not famous, I'm simply very well known to certain people. And that's the power of authority. So when you're an authority, you need to have focus of two things. The first thing you need to have a focus is on what area, which field are you an authority? Because you cannot be an authority on everything in the world. That's need to be selective. And the second question, you need to know, to who are you an authority? To which audience? You cannot be to everybody everything. You're an authority for specific people. Who are these people you're going to be an authority for? Because before you know the answer to these two questions, you cannot become an authority. Again, those questions can change during your lifetime, can change during on your focus on your lifetime. But now, where you are in your life, who are you an authority for who, which audience, and for what, on which subject, which field. So let's do a little exercise, and I like it, although I don't see you, but I hope you hear me well. I'm going to show you in a second 4 characters on the screen, and I want you, between you and yourself, choose very fast one of them. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to show you 4 characters. Please choose one of them right away fast. And I love to do it always in live audience, but let's try it now in the webinar. So here they are: a triangle, circle, X, and square. Triangle, circle, X, and square. Pick one. Did you pick one? Great. Type in the chat box, what did you choose? Is it triangle? Is it circle? Is it X? Is it square? Please type it down now. I want to see what is your answers now. What did you choose? Triangle, circle, X, or square?
Okay, I'll read them out loud. So we have circle, triangle, X, circle, triangle.
Awesome. So we get almost everything. So
yeah.
I mean, this is based, by the way, on the Harvard University studies. So here we go. Those of you who choose circle, hear what they think and they research about you. You love people. You hate edgy corners. You hate to be in a corner. You hate to be and always in conflict. So you embrace people, but in the same time, you're a very messy person. Those of you choose triangle. So if you were sitting down in the audience, I will warn the people around you, because you are the most ambitious people in the room. In our webinar, you probably will be something one day. So if those of you could see that, I would say to the audience now, hey, get the business card of this person, because that will be a very interesting person to be with. For the square, circle, you need to have squares in your life, because squares, these are the people, you know, when you go to events, these are the people when they get the business cards, they type it in a database. They'll be so organized. It's typical, by the way, accounting characters. Accountants are very much squares. So these are the squares, and we all need, if you're circle, you need a square in your life. And the last one is X. And I always said, don't tell us you're an X. Always the audience, I said, don't raise your hand, because, you know, these are the people who are obsessed by sex. And this is a Harvard University study. That's not my invention. Now, why did I share it with you? Because this is the way people think about you when you enter the room. I mean, when I'm teaching business networking, you could see those people. Right away when they enter the room, you could see the triangle, the circle, the isc, and the square. Now, if you impart, people think about you, how do you get out of it? How do you build your authority? How do you change the mind that they really think people with authority don't put you in these boxes that they think? So here are the key criteria I want you to use to build your authority. Before teaching you the step by step what you need to do and how to build it up, these are the key criteria you need to think. First, as I said before, it has to be based on your experience and your expertise. What did you discover in your life? What is your personal life experience? What is your knowledge? What is your client experience? All these things you gathered during the years, along whatever you work or you have your own business, these are your expertise and experience. Take a pen and paper and write it down for yourself. What are these? It doesn't have to be connected to your work or to your job or to your business. It's things you discovered in your life. Maybe you are, as I said to a friend of mine recently, maybe you're bald and you learn how to shave your head with your own hands and make it bald without scratching your skull. I don't know. But that's an expertise. You see, people with hair would not necessarily know how to do it. So write down those expertise, your discoveries, your life experiences. The second criteria for becoming an authority is it has to be viable for other people. So I want you to ask yourself the question, okay, I have my expertise, I have the experience, here's the list of the things, but who's willing to pay for this experience or this expertise? And if they're willing, are they willing to pay enough for it? Can you find those people? You know, because it could be that you know what, you're an expert, but there's no way to find those target people because they're nowhere to be found. There's not gathering together, they're not online in groups, they're not offline in events, so that would be hard. So ask yourself the question, because you know, if it's not viable for others, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's not a business, maybe it's not something you want to build your authority on. But if it is, if this second criteria it is viable for others, great, check the box. So that's good. So you have the expertise and it's viable for others. And now we're coming to the third criteria, and that's personal benefits. When you're building your authority, I want you to enjoy it. It has to be beneficial for you. You need to be selfish for yourself. It's not only about others. Because if you do something only to please other people, you're not enjoying the road, the ride, you see? So the third thing to become an authority, it has to be beneficiary for you. Maybe it's give you freedom, maybe give you joy, maybe you meet nice people, maybe it's the growth potential, maybe the contribution to the world. Whatever it is that make you happy and joyful has to be part of your process of building your authority. So again, the three criteria, you need to have it first. Let's start from the end. First, it gives benefits for you. Second, it's viable to other people. And the third is based on your experience and expertise. When all these three criteria exist for what you want to make, now we could narrow it down and start building your authority, because now we know what you want to aim at, etc. So I will teach you now the three, what I call D, because I'll start with the D, the 3D main fundamentals, but these are the steps you need to take to build your authority on the subject matter that we just decided we want to be the authority in the world. And what are these three fundamentals you want to build? So there are three, as I said, three starting with the D. The first step is discover. The second step is define. And the third step is design. And let me explain each of them very briefly, but also with some information, example for you, so you understand. So let's start with the first step, discover. When I'm talking about discover, I want you to ask yourself the question, what is your unique opinion? What is your unique ideas? What is your unique insight? What makes you unique? I want you to ask yourself the question, what is your client aha moment? When they encounter with you, when they meet with you and you talk to them, there will be a moment, aha, wow, That's probably your expertise. Now you're touching the thing that makes you an authority because it gives them a moment of discovery. What can you deliver? What you can deliver. It's very important to discover that. When you discover those things, you know how to build the authority. The second step I said, I call it define. And it's defining mainly how could you reach your ideal client. Okay, the great that you become an authority, but if you cannot reach your ideal clients directly, then you have a problem. So we need to define as a second step to build your authority, how to reach your ideal clients. And the third step we want to do is designing your authority, is how to build your deeper relationship. So after you know what you're an authority for, after the second step that we find those direct clients you want to be an authority to, now we have to build deeper relationship. Now we need to start giving them attention and not getting attention like most people teach. Absolutely not. You need to start giving them attention, and by that you get noticed and to be able to become an authority. So let me go back what I said, and I will explain each of them more with example so you understand what I mean on each of these steps, because I want you to be able to do it by the end of this webinar, my friends. So the first step I said, you need to discover your unique ideas, your unique perspective, etc., to become an authority and create those aha moments for your clients. So what is this unique perspective that I'm saying you should discover? What am I talking about? So I'm talking about things like your unique insight, your unique ideas, your unique thoughts. It doesn't have to be earth-breaking things, but it's some one thing that you are the one who's thinking this way. While everybody else thinks different ways, you may think in your own way, maybe differently, maybe more unique way. Take me, for example, I'm teaching all the time about giving attention, not getting attention. So most people think that building relationships is about getting attention, or building your authority is about getting attention. Like all the social media based on getting attention. Look at me, amazing I am. No, 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 no. I said it's about giving attention. Actually, you don't need to speak. I mean, those are your communication expert, is the nonverbal communication maybe, but the silence is part of nonverbal communication. That's the giving attention. And that's my thought. That's my unique ideas. That's everything that I teach, build on those things. But what is your unique insight? What is your unique ideas? What is your unique thoughts? Here's I'll give you an example. Stephen Hopkins, that recently this year passed away. Um, as you know, become an authority. Become an authority. He almost, of course, as a celebrity because he was known more than he is, but definitely in the area that he was an authority so much as that even buried this last week or this week, I think, between Isaac Newton and the remains of others very known scientists, because he was an authority in a very specific area that he knew. But I'll give you a different example that many of you maybe do not know. Maybe of you will know because you're in the communication field, but part of you knows BRENÉ BROWN, or you don't know. I spoke to her 2 weeks ago when we spoke on stage together, and I'm telling you, till these days, she doesn't believe in herself an authority because she never planned it. She became an authority. She became an authority when she gave the TED Talk about the power of vulnerability, but as those of you know, she was just a researcher. But because she spoke about specific area, her unique perspective on the area of vulnerability, that's her unique perspective, and that was the first step she built to become global authority. And as you know, since then she got to very places to speak, and in Oprah Winfrey and a lot of more famous places because of the first step she did, a unique perspective. Jack Ma, another example. Those of you do not know, he's the CEO of Alibaba. He was just a teacher. His big thoughts was, how do I bring it to change the e-commerce to reach more people? His unique perspective was very specific, so much that he built Alibaba based on that, and again, becoming very short term one of the largest places or online stores in the world, as you know, or e-commerce for a lot of platforms that even bigger nowadays, to a lot of bigger than eBay, closer to Amazon, as you know. But just a teacher did it because of unique perspective that he has on e-commerce. So again, what is your unique perspective on specific thing in life? What is the value of your unique perspective? So if you have a unique perspective, we know that you don't need a lot of experience. You see, so even the young people here with us today, they think, Itzik, what are you talking about? I'm just young. I just have less than 5 years experience. So you don't need to become an authority. You don't need experience, because if you have unique perspective, that will be instead the experience. You don't need the experience to justify your unique perspective. If you have unique perspective on something specific thing, then you become more visible, because people tell about other people. People read what you're writing about this thing. See, so you become visible. If you don't have a unique perspective, you're like everybody else. And we always said sameness sucks, because you're like everybody else. What's the difference? But if you have unique perspective, people doesn't have to agree with you, but you'll be more visible. And if you have unique perspective, people, of course, will capture it and share it with other people. You see, and that's how you become faster. That's a snowball effect. That's why you become faster and you think and even imagine to yourself, just because you dare to share your unique perspective. So you're asking still, what is his unique perspective it's you're talking about? So in order that the perspective or point of view of yours will be very unique, or very stuff that people will share, etc., it has to have three things within it. Obviously, it has to be unique. It has to be yours, because otherwise it's not a unique perspective, right? So that's why here it shows you why it's not important to be like other people, why you have to be yourself, why you have to be close to yourself and understand what do you think, how do you think. Because the more yourself, the more unique you are, because I hope you know, trust you know, you're the only person like you in the world, right? The second thing this unique perspective should be is disruptive. It should and it will disrupt the market, because it's unique. People will share it. Now, I'm not necessarily want you to understand what is disruptive or know it, but once it's disruptive, one is different, that's the one who shared faster in nowadays, and it just accelerates your authority process. And the third, unique perspective has to be valuable. If it's just about you, nobody cares. But if it's valuable to other people, then people love it, because they would like to share things that are valuable to them. So again, in order that unique perspective will be a very unique perspective, it has to be unique, it has to be disruptive, it has to be valuable, but it has to be a unique perspective. Now, how do you find this unique perspective? The question you had to ask yourself. I know it was difficult, so I wrote an ebook about it. If you would like to get a hold on it and you want to know more in order to work on your unique perspective, just stay at the end of the webinar and I show you how can you get it. So the second thing I said in the steps of building your authority is define and reach your ideal client. So after we discover our unique perspective, now we have to find who are our ideal clients, because you need to be an authority to valuable people, to specific people. You're not an authority to everybody, right? You're an authority to your ideal clients or your ideal prospective clients. And we have to ask yourself, or defining, who is your ideal client and how can I reach them directly? But here's the problem we have in our days. The problem we have in our days, the world is so crowded. There's so much over there. How can people, your ideal client, find you? I mean, if you just open the internet, there's so much information there. So even if you come with your unique perspective, with amazing, earth-shattering things, whatever it is, there's too much over there. That's a problem. You see, and when you go out there and you listen to all those experts, etc., you're going to hear words like, you know, you need to work on your pitching, or you need to work on your benefits, or you work on your marketing techniques, or all kind of a unique selling proposal, or the pricing should be better, or all the testimonials, if you're more testimonials, all those things, people teaching you to become an authority, just becoming more crowded, more noisy, and you don't know how to find your direct client. How do you find those people you need to speak to? Because if you don't find them, you will never become an authority. Remember, you're an authority for a specific group of people. So let's teach you something that will show you what's the problem of a lot of professionals, a lot of people who have business, a lot of people in senior position in the companies as well. And I realized that after years of doing those things, but imagine, for example, just to give you an example, imagine we're gonna you want to really reach those direct clients, those people you want to talk to or become an authority to. Now, let's say I know them and I bring them in and I fill the stadium full of those people, you need to be an authority to, and those people will buy your product. But guess what? And I give you a microphone to talk to them. Now, if you stand there in the middle of the stadium and you talk to all the thousands of them and start yelling at them, hey, come to me, I'm the best in that, I'm doing that, it won't work. You know why? You know why all of those people will not become your clients or become your whatever, your direct clients, even though they may need your products? Because only 60 to 80% of them need your help, but only in the coming 3 to 5 years. Not now. In the coming 3 to 5 years, they may need your help, but not now. You see, out of those people, we know that 15 to 25% aware now of that need, that they will need you in the coming 3 to 5 years. Only 15 to 25%. The rest don't even know, not even aware of the need of your services. Although we know they will need your services in the coming 3 to 5 years. And guess what? Only 3 to 5% of those ready to buy your services now, are ready to engage you. Now, if you stand there in the middle of this stadium and talking to all those prospective clients and yelling at them, say how great you are, you will reach maybe 3 to 5%. That's it, because they are ready to buy now. But what about the rest? What about the other 95, 97% of the people standing there? As I just told you, they are potential clients. They need to reach, you need to reach them directly. But if you yell at them how great you are, you're gonna miss them and you're not gonna see them again. So I want you to think differently. I want you to think in authority. And as an authority, I want you to engage all of the people sitting in the stadium. Then your pipeline, your whatever, your lead generation system will be full all the time. You don't have to run after people, because the moment you have there, you're standing in front of them, you created what you need to create. Now they'll come. If they come next week, next month, next year, 2 years from now, they'll come. And you have enough prospects and clients that you can reach. But how do we do that? So instead of yelling on the people what you're good at, let's teach you what you need to do to connect with the majority of them that will become your clients in the 3 to 5 years. And you had it before. In order to reach directly those potential clients, you need to learn to create value. You need to create value for them. Not about you. You need to give attention and create value to them. But how do you create value to them? Creating value is taking one of your unique perspective that we just talked about and just putting it in a format. It could be an ebook, it could be this example of ebook I wrote, but it could be an audio file, it could be a video, it could be any way you're thinking about that you need to package it for them. The value you want to give them, you need to package them in order to give it to them. It could be a speech, it could be a presentation, it could be anything you like and you think about, but it needs to be packaged. This value needs to be packaged for your audience. Now, a lot of you heard the word lead magnet. A lot of people teaching us to create a lead magnet. And those of you who do not know what is lead magnet, it is a piece of information that you create, and in order that those direct clients you want, or those leads you want to attract to you, will come to you by taking or consuming this lead magnet. Now, when they're teaching you lead magnet, they're telling you, hey, it has to be easy to consume. Probably you could read it within 3 minutes or consume it within 3 minutes, and it has to have high value. And I give you an example. You can make an ebook or a checklist or a cheat sheet, what we're saying, or maybe a short resource list or audio or video, whatever it is. But you know, again, the world is crowded with these things. And a lot of them, I'm sorry to say, crappy shit. I mean, sorry, there's no value in them. You download this ebook, you give your email, and there's nothing in it. Absolutely nothing that you cannot get without this ebook. That's why I want you to think not about lead magnet. We're talking about building an authority. I want you to think about something else, an authority lead magnet, for the sake of our webinar. And what is the difference between authority lead magnet and the lead magnet? How do you package your unique perspective to this client you want to reach and become an authority? So in order to become an authority lead magnet, remember, it has to be unique, it has to be disruptive, and it has to be based on your unique perspective that we talked in step 1. So we need to take your unique, disruptive, unique perspective and package that into a whatever it is, lead magnet, the ebook, a book, a video value. Now we're creating, an authority lead magnet. Why is an authority lead magnet? Because first, you're going to get the ideal client to sign up so you can communicate with them regularly. And these are the people you want to attract. You don't want everybody to get it. You want only those people who wants those unique perspectives as your ideal client. And the second, when you create this authority lead magnet and share it with your direct client, now you're going to establish your authority by triggering new ideas and aha moment for those people who downloaded it, or those people who consume your authority lead magnet. And that's the way you can become rich faster directly. Those people, those clients, those leads, you need to become an authority too, because you don't want to be an authority to everybody. So your question probably in your head is now, okay, great, but how do I reach these target clients? Where do I find them? I understand, Itzik, that you need to share that with them, and when they take it, they take this my unique perspective, that package. Now they're going to discover me, and now I'm start building my authority toward them. That's great, but how do I reach those target clients, those direct clients? So there are three types to way to connect with this direct client. One we called close connection. What do I mean by it? You can take your authority lead magnet that you created and share it with your family, friends, all your current connections. So that's one way of becoming an authority to these people you want to become an authority. But I'm not sure how fast. This is a very slow way that one day you're going to reach your direct client, but it's one way of sharing this unique perspective. The second way to share unique perspective is to go to ideal clients and share it with them. But when I say ideal clients, what do I mean? How do you find them? So here you have, nowadays you have so many ways, but by offering this authority lead magnet directly to ideal client, you can do it via Google, via Facebook, via LinkedIn, via ads, via emails. There's so many ways you could find, if you know how to work with social media, there's a way to define and find a group of people or groups that you can participate and be part of, or an association you could be part of, that for sure the members of this group or association or whatever, they are your ideal clients. And when you're there, you could share with them your unique perspective. And that's where you're connecting directly to those ideal clients. And the third way, and actually the longer way, but also a way to do it, is indirect connection. So you just go out there and sharing your perspective or sharing your authority lead magnet with other people groups. So if people own a blog, or people own a publication, or they have a podcast, or maybe an event, you can go and speak there. And by using other people connections, you actually building your own authority toward those people. So we call it the indirect connection because it's not your connection. You didn't attract them directly to you. They came to other person, and you using other person means to put yourself and people to discover it. My suggestion, the easiest way is number 2, the direct connection. But if you want, you should experience all 3 ways to see what works for you better. And it's always better to have a mix of all 3 of them, because you never know where it's going to reach and how fast you're going to reach your direct clients. So we spoke about step number 1 was about discovering your unique perspective. Once you have it, step number 2 was about defining how to get to direct client. And I just share with you, how do you take your unique perspective and share it with your direct clients. Now you have unique perspective, you share it with a direct client or direct client you want to have. Step number 3, I said, now we need to maintain the relationship, because authority is a long goal, right? We have built relationship for a reason, season, or lifetime. That's always what I said. And I want you to build a relationship for lifetime. So now we need to design your relationship with these direct clients that your authority will build in their heads. And on time, you'll be the person who can help them and direct them where they want to go with your expertise. So when we speak about designing, we speak about how to build your deeper relationship with those ideal clients, and how to give them attention and get noticed as an authority in the field. So first, in order to build relationship nowadays, and definitely after GDPR, as you know, we need to get permission and get permission from those people that allow you to continue building relationship with them. So when you find your ideal clients, that's one thing, but in order to build deeper relationship with them, you need to get their permission to do so. If they don't give you permission, don't squeeze yourself on them. The time will come, and maybe they'll come again and start building relationship with you. So not every person could be your direct client want you to build direct relationship with them. But once they give you the permission, the easiest way to build relationship is, of course, follow up, follow up, follow up. By the way, 95% of the people I know failing here because they don't follow up. They send one email and waiting that something will happen. You want to be in authority, you need to follow up, follow up, follow up consistently, sorry, and you need to continue adding value. You need to continue adding value to the people you build relationship with. So how do you continue adding value in the most efficient way and the most easy way? One of the easiest way nowadays is using email marketing. I mean, there's all kind of ways, but that's my favorite way because people still read emails. And I'm doing it offline and online because sometimes I send postcards, but still, this is the main way that people give you permission and want to read things from you, want to read your unique perspective, and you can continue create for them value on a regular basis. Keep yourself in the mind. So how do you design your authority through this platform? Let's say the email marketing. Because remember, that's the third steps of building your authority. So there are two things I want you to learn, and you need to ask yourself in order to create value to others. Because you really need to understand deeply your ideal client. If we know your ideal client deeply, it will be an easy job. So I'm not just sharing everything with them. Remember, we want to create value to them. In order to create value to them, we need to understand them deeply in order to deliver the value. So to understand your client deeply, we have two areas we need to check. The first, we call it the external. What do I mean by external? Ask yourself the following question. What are my ideal clients' biggest needs, problems, challenges, and dreams? Of course, in your area of expertise, in the area you want to become an authority. What is their biggest needs, problem, challenges, dreams? What do they go on Google and type in? How to do what? Make a list of all those things, all the biggest needs, problem, challenges, dreams that your ideal clients have. External, I call it external because that's the way they're going to Google and they're going to type in how to do this, how to do that, when to do that. These are the list of their external problem of your ideal clients. Once you have this external problem, you have this list, make, on the other side, make tips, insight, advice out of your expertise how to solve those needs. You see, so if you make, for example, 12, just example, if you can make a list of 12 things your ideal clients needs, the problem, the challenges, the dreams, and at the same time, the other side, you put a list of 12 tips or 12 insight of 12 pieces of advice of yours, now you have a value each month to give your ideal clients. You see, because that's the thing they need help with. That's the value you create for them on the area of your expertise, an area that you become an authority for. The second thing you need to know about your ideal clients is internal needs. What do you mean by internal? What does not let your ideal clients sleep at night? What wakes them up at night? You see, they cannot sleep at night. What is the thing? Maybe they cannot pay the mortgage. Maybe they don't know how to hire a new person. Maybe they don't know how to fire another person. Whatever the needs they have, because they're not going to Google and check it out, it bothers them at night. They cannot go to sleep. And it has to be in your area of expertise because remember, you want to become an authority. So what does your ideal client, and when you know what is these things that are bothering them, etc., now make a list of those things. And on the other side, make a list of stories, other people you may help, or other case study of other people has the same problem and you help them, or maybe other facts and figures, or maybe research that you found that helped them. Make a list of those things. Now you see, again, you can make it 12 things that they are bothered by, they cannot sleep at night, and on the other side, make 12 stories or 12 case studies or facts and figures or some research, and now you have a match, and you can, on a regular basis, share those with them, and again, you create for them consistent value. You keep yourself in the mind, and you're building your authority with your direct clients. So if I read you right, and you are listening to me, and you didn't leave me yet, and you know that we are now in the step number 3, I guess your next question, okay, Itzik, I understand, but what should be my easy next step toward working with this client, or how did it work with me? Okay, I'm positioning myself as an authority. I do everything you're doing to me, but actually I want to work with those clients. It's not just to position myself. What is the next step that I make them work with me as an expert, right? Me as an authority. So there, we are talking about 3 parts that, but the moment you position yourself as authority, you did what I said, you define, you discover, you define, you design your authority. Then we need to talk about how to get those clients that you position yourself in their eyes to start working with you. And then we're talking about the focus of foundation. We're talking about focusing on your target market, and we're talking about fulfilling your authority. And let me explain it very short because I know we're limited with time, but I want you to understand how people start working with you, how after you become an authority. Because becoming an authority is good, but we don't do it to become just known as celebrity, right? We want tangible results from it. So as I said, in order to people start working with you, the first steps is foundation by building. We need to build the foundation of this content that you share on a regular basis to position yourself as an authority. So what I just shared you, the external and internal things, it has to work all the time. That's what I'm doing, keep doing all the time. If you read things that I'm writing everywhere, online, on my blog, in the videos, I keep creating value on a regular basis. Not every day, but definitely once a week, once a month. You need to do the same, because if you don't do the same and you're just busy serving client, then you're not going to build an authority. The second thing you need to do is focusing on your target market. We just talked about it, but we need to create a high impact campaign to reach your target clients. And I give you 3 ways doing it: direct, indirect, or doing your specific connections. But it doesn't matter what you choose, you need to do it on a regular basis, focusing on your target market. That's a mistake many people do. They're focusing on everybody, and if you focus on everybody, you get nobody. You need to focus on specific, pick up these target clients and focusing on them constantly till you become an authority. Once you're an authority, go ahead and choose another group of people to become an authority to. But first become an authority to first group of people. Because if you don't do that, you will never become an authority to nobody. And number 3 is fulfill your authority. In order to attract those ideal clients to work with you, you need to use this platform to fulfill and enhance your authority with potential clients. And I give you an example of email marketing, but you can choose anything. You can do a YouTube channel, you can do anything nowadays that helps you. You can do live events, you can do lunches, whatever you feel. And there's thousands of other ideas I can give you. But once you choose your platform, then you need to go there and make sure that you invite your potential client, you share with them value, and they keep seeing you an authority. Because only when you do that, they will be the come in a coming period, they become your clients, they want to be your client, they want to consume your services. Not the first time they met you, not the first time they hear about you. Because we know that 3 critical success factors to become an authority, and that's based on thousands of people that I helped internationally in more than 63 countries to become an authority. But there are 3 things that make the difference. The first, you have to be ambitious, but at the same time authentic and realistic. Sorry if you're BS, if you're just about your ego, you will never become an authority. We're in a totally different age. It's a connecting age. People want authentic people, real people, not bullshit. So you could be ambitious, not a problem with that. You can work hard, absolutely, but be authentic, be realistic if you want to reach authentic position, authority position very fast. The second critical success factor, you need to do the work I'm teaching you and keep going. It doesn't happen one day. You do all the 3 steps again and again and again and again and again. Trust me, it took me, first time people read my blog, I think it was after 16 blogs I wrote, and I was tired of it. 16, and I wrote every 2 weeks in the beginning. 16 blogs, I was tired of it. I said, doesn't work. Yeah, it works for others, it doesn't work for me. But the thing is, people read it, but they never told me. And I was waiting for the reaction of the notes or whatever, but people don't give it. So people read your stuff. It's part of your positioning, but not necessarily you know about it. So keep going, keep doing the work. And the third critical success factor is get help and when needed. You know, if you don't know how to do it, you need the support, get help for it. There are people who are better than you, they'll help you get you faster. Don't wait, because it's all about giving attention and help you get there. So I know a lot of you asking, okay, Itzik, I understand it was very fast, and I know I talk fast and swallow my word, but you're asking, will it work for me? And I understand it's like putting, you know, the hooves of water in your mouth and feeding you with all the stuff, and I don't want it to happen because it's just a webinar. But you saw there's a way to become an authority. There's a framework that if you do that, I promise you, in every industry you get there. Because I did already 7 industries, and you can do it as well. But because it's like going from A to B points. I don't know about you, you can go to those from A to B, you know, in the wrong way and get all kind of holes, but you also can go in a fast way, and that's the framework I'm teaching you in order to implement. There are ways to do it. That's why those people. When I'm stepping in the car and I want to go to a point, in our days, I just put navigation system and that takes me. It's almost like that. I just gave you navigation, what to do to take you to the next point. Because you joined today because you want to connect to the right people, right? You want to grow your business, or you want to grow in your career. You want people to see you in authority. Because if you're in authority in your career, you can jump to a new job. You can get double your money. I was 28 years old, managing director of 18,000 people, not because I'm better than anybody else, because I did what I'm teaching you then unconsciously, but I can tell you it's the same thing. You join this webinar because you have a service, maybe you have a knowledge that people really need. So why are you waiting there? What, you want to be the best kept secret of the market? It's not being snob and authority, it's not being a celebrity, it's about being and serving those people you want to help. Go there and shine. You join this webinar because you're frustrated, because you cannot seem to get the right or enough referrals or results from your relations, or maybe in your business, or maybe in your career. So don't wait. Create your authority. It will give you joy. You attract the right people in your life, and the rest will go away. I give you, like everybody else, 3 choices. You may say, you know what, Itzik, I don't want to be authority. I don't know shit about it. I quit. I get the stuff. That's fine. Accept it. If that's your choice, that's good. Some of you said, you know what, I like what you just told me, but I want to do it alone and I'm getting better results. I've been there. I did it alone. It just will take you longer. Why? If you have the third option, if you can ask people, and I'm one of them, and people in your community, that they are coming to help. I came today to help you. So ask. If you have any question, ask. We'll give you the solution, and just take the step. Success is about copy paste what somebody else did, and you'll be successful. So I know as now we just run out of time, but I just want to offer the people here. First, those of you who are interested to serve more clients, your ideal clients, and want to be exposed to more clients, wherever you are. So I'll give you an opportunity here to reach. I have the biggest platform worldwide that I'm helping international clients connect with professionals. So if you want to be known, I'll give you free. I'm gonna get you. You can go to the hub at the switch, and we can give you their profile and expose you to international clients. So you don't tell me tomorrow I don't get clients. Here, there are enough clients looking for you. You just don't know where to find you because you're not an authority. But the second thing, if you want to help, here is a way to communicate with me. If you want to book a call with me before I answer your questions, you can go here for free. There's no charge. It's just a call that you know, because I talk to you a lot of people, a lot of things, and I want you to see what you need and directly where you need to go, what you need to read, what you need to do. So if you want to use that, you can go to Itzik Amiel. You can book.me, and there you can choose your time and the day that fits with you. And let's talk. Let's talk half an hour, and let me share with you how could you do things. So if you go there and you use me and you use my help, I promise you I'm going to share with you also, as a promise at the beginning, the workbook to help you create your distinctive point of view. I don't want it just to be in the market, because this is officially I'm selling it, but I give it to you for free. But I want you, if you really want to create an authority, come over, let's talk. I'll share with you. Don't have to pay for it, and you're just going to see and what you have to do in order to start building your authority. So I'm coming to the time of question and answer. Yes, and I'm sorry I did it very fast.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let me turn my camera on again. I loved it. It's really connected to inbound marketing, which is actually what I'm doing also in my work. So I really appreciate you talking about giving value to people that we're communicating with. But I was wondering, what's your take on you mentioned, get help. So do you think that ghostwriting, for example, if I want to be an expert in my field, would you recommend or discourage me, or what would you what would you say to me based on what you teach?
It's interesting what you're saying, but because I'm teaching authenticity, is like almost saying to me, I have no time, and my wife's birthday is today. Can I get a ghostwriter to give a birthday card? I mean, of course, the answer is you could, but we'll be authentic as you will be to your own. I mean, if you don't have the time, or you don't think you have the capabilities to write from the bottom of your heart the value you want to create to others, then I don't think you should be an authority. I mean, once you're in authority, once everybody come, you take your time, I understand. Then you need to maintain your authority position. And once in a while, you can get somebody to write an article and things you believe in. But when you build your authority, I definitely think that you should take the time. And if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or half an hour, whatever it is, a week, to write, to build it, to create the value. It doesn't take hours and hours and months and months.
Yeah.
Trust me, I said half an hour because we need first to do just the unique lead magnet, or this authority lead magnet, which is a simple thing. It's one pager even. So I do believe ghostwriting doesn't come in that stage. When you build your authority, you cannot talk to a ghostwriter. Later on, when you really want to maintain it, we can discuss it. That's a possibility. I personally don't do it. I'm obliging myself to write every weekend a new piece of material because I think it's my voice. It's always the easiest to write, and I struggle with it. I didn't want to write for a long time, but I did it today. I mean, there is a way to shorten it. You can even record yourself and then go to a Fiverr or whatever and get people to transcript for you. But that's another way of doing it.
Yeah, so getting help in a different way, or sometimes you can be interviewed and it's a video that somebody helps to
Absolutely.
create for you. So there are other ways. So I'm waiting for the questions in the questions box. If anybody wants to ask Itzik something, we still have 2 minutes. And until then, I just want to remind everyone who's also an IABC EMENA member that we have an AGM next Friday. So it's on the 29th of June at 7 p.m. CET, or the summertime. So please join us. You already received several invitations, and I think we're sending out a few more, just reminders so you don't forget. Thank you, Itzik, so much for your presentation. I'm looking if people are asking anything, and right now I don't see any questions. But I do want, I have one more question regarding the GDPR. Did you maybe notice a different in the way people communicate based on what happened with Cambridge Analytica and GDPR, that people are more cautious with giving their data in terms of giving them for an ebook or a webinar or whatever the lead magnet is?
Sure. So, I mean, as you know, I'm also a lawyer in my profession. So first, for those of you who need to do GDPR, I don't know if you know, but it was already announced that a no is not a yes, which means you need to do the hard way and you need to sacrifice, even of the sake of all the people who decided not to re-register or consume your knowledge. If that happens to people, I always said you didn't build an authority. Because people who want to listen to you, GDPR cannot stop them. They may forget to push the button or whatever, but that's why you communicate. But those who want to hear from you, they'll be there. And even if the sake that you had, I don't know how many, and people left, be glad, because now you know you're talking to the people who need you. I mean, I remember even in the live world, I remember being talking to a lady, also a speaker like myself, and she said to me, she was in an event once, and the other speaker in the other room was Stephen Covey. And there was 1,000 people in the event, and there was, I don't know what, 1,994 people went to Stephen Covey room, and she got only 6 people in the room. And she said to me, Itzik, I was so upset because the other room was 1,000 people, and I was the other person in the other room, and I got only 6 people because the other room was Stephen Covey, and I was not known as Stephen Covey. But she said at the end of my presentation, and I offered these people to, why don't we have dinner together? Because there's just 6 people. Let's invite my audience to have dinner with me. And they all went to dinner. And she said to me, Itzik, all those 6 people till this day, and I'm talking to you, said 20 years later, they're all my best clients, and I have them till this day. So ask
Yeah.
yourself the question, do you want to attract a small amount of people that you become an authority for, you could really sincerely help and become your best client the rest of your life? Or you want to have thousands of people who take everything you do for free but give you nothing, exhaust you, take you all your energies, and you just give yourself illusions that you're an authority. Ask yourself the question. For me, the answer is obvious. So if GDPR, the only good thing that could happen is select the people to me, help me find the right people, be it. I mean, I hate it as a lawyer. I think it's a burden. I hate it for all the stuff. We just put more work for lawyers, etc. But as a speaker and as a person who likes to share knowledge and an authority, I endorse it because it gives me more ability to talk to the right people and get rid of those people that don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my life. I
Exactly.
don't want to take for my energies. All those users that been there all the time and just take things for free.
I completely agree with you. It gives us an opportunity to focus on the right ones.
Absolutely.
So, Chris,
Remember that relationship for a reason, season, or lifetime, and you only have to go for a lifetime.
exactly. Krishna says, good presentation. Thank you. We do have one more question. Oh, I'm sorry, because I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it Binkset.
Okay.
Hello, thank you very much for giving this seminar. It's very helpful. I have a question about challenging authority. I want to know how to challenge established authority.
You mean, let me ask a question because I don't understand. Challenge established authority of somebody else or your own. So if you build an authority of X area and say, okay, let's challenge it, I want to become an authority in a different area. So let's say reset yourself, or you're talking about somebody else who is an authority, but you want to challenge his authority. So since I don't
I
know the
think
answer, I'll give you answers of both. So
okay.
the last one is easy. I mean, if somebody is pretend to be an
I think
authority,
it's that.
and you want to know if he's an authority, I give you an example from my life. You would love it, I guess. But as a lawyer, as a young lawyer, I used to be hating those people who know it all. Those people. My God. And later on in the time, I found this was a lot of senior lawyers were just bullshitters. But I wanted the young lawyers in the office get confidence, see that those people who become an authority are not really an authority. So I would go to a meeting with this young lawyer with me and asked the senior lawyer that I'm still talking to, asked him, in the middle of explanation, I said, really, what about the case 64 times 83, Lord Chesterfield, whatever, something I invented in that way, fake thing, never had. And the other person started answering, explaining, and in that moment, the young lawyer and myself knew that the other person is bullshitting because the case doesn't exist. So if you want to really challenge a person who is not in authority or think is an authority, ask them challenging questions. I do it all the time as speaker. I'm going on stages, and I'm known to be a speaker that is standing for the word in authenticity because I didn't do the speaking for making money because I was a lawyer. I made my money. It was more busy with my legacy, creating my message, helping others. And I see the speakers on stage, and in the green room, they're sitting there and it's just about how can I manipulate the audience. Well, on the stage, they stand up there, put their hands on their heart, and say, "Oh, I'm here to help people." And I said, really? So, so I would say challenge those people, ask them questions. People who are really authentic, people who are really real, have an authority, they have word game stories, they have case studies. They're just doing it every day, they're living it, you see. If you challenge me with networking, I can give you an example of today and every day. You see, but people who are not really in authority, who are just study something, will not know to give you the example, will not know to give you the answers. And I think that's easy way, gentle way to challenge an authority without insulting nobody, but just to see if the person you're talking are really an authority or just pretender. To answer the first question, because a lot of you saying, I get you, Itzik, but I'm already known in a specific area. Let's say you are a communication expert in the area of, I don't know, what's fast food restaurants. Great. But now you want to become, after hearing me, you said, you know what? I coincidentally felt it up because I work all the time for those companies, but I want to become the authority, the communication authority in the world of the area of whatever, in the DJ area, not in the restaurants. How do I do that? I would say just follow what I told you from the beginning, like you didn't do anything. Like don't bother by the fact that you're known to be enough. The fact that you're known in one authority does not prevent you to become another authority. I told you, I was the chairman of all the lawyers. I'm expert in international tax. I'm very much an expert in global expansion. Help company expand internationally. Now, if you look on my Google, for example, you find that, maybe on page 5 and 6 you find it, because it's already buried by all my speaking engagement, becoming best-selling author. Does that prevent me? No. Does some people think that I'm not an authority now anymore in legal and tax because I've become an authority on networking? Absolutely not. So as long as you continue creating relationship and building relationship, and you know the border, don't mix them up, because the people who are interested in your authority in X were not interested in authority in Y, not necessarily. So make sure you talk to the right people when you are wearing the right authority hat. It doesn't need to kill the other authority to build a new one, not at all. But you need to build a new one from scratch. And that's where the hard work, because a lot of people ego stop them. So what do you mean? I'm already known. Yeah, you're known in that area, you're known to those people, but here you know nothing. So you start from scratch like a student. And that's hard when you're already in authority, but that's the ego stoppers. If you know how to deal with your ego, put it aside, yeah, it's exactly what I told you. It's exactly the same thing.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Itzik, so much. We are already out of time, so we'll have to end the webinar. Thank you, Itzik, and thanks to everyone who attended, and everyone else will get everyone will actually get the recording tomorrow, the link to the recording. We'll resume our webinars in the fall, in September. So until then, have a great summer, learn a lot, and we'll be back in September.
Thanks a lot, Yasna. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.